Greetings, God bless, and welcome back. So, I was watching a video about this type of lizard, and they were just talking about the difference between this lizard and a snake, and what the lizard eats, and they were showing it eating like some type of beetle or whatever. And so, the current globalist thing, this current left progressive liberal thing, is that we eat bugs now. And it made me think, okay, so what animal is eating bugs? So do lions eat bugs, predominantly? Do giraffes eat bugs predominantly in their diet? Do bears eat bugs as a majority? Because we are apex predators. Yes, we're not as big as a giraffe, or I mean, not that a giraffe is a predator, but a lion or a bear, or, you know, like horses. Do horses eat bugs? Because we're kind of a larger mammal. We're not a mole, we're not a rat, we're not a bird, right? But the globalists want us to eat bugs. They want us to like eating bugs. We won't own anything, but we will be happy. Why will we be happy? Are they going to pump all sorts of drugs into the water and the air supply? Are they going to inject us? Are they going to make us take drugs? Are they going to zap certain wavelengths to alter our brains so we think we're happy? So they have a docile herd of humans that they can cultivate, that they can extract organs from, that they can molest and violate, so they can do their satanic rituals of desecrating innocence. Because the Satanists, they want to destroy God's creation. Satanists, Satan hates God. Satan is mad at God because God threw Satan out of heaven, and Satan decided that he would be disloyal to God, so he separated himself from God. So when you're separated from God, what does that mean? Like people who are evil or whatever, they're like, well, I don't want any godly thing. I don't want any goodness from God. Um, but they, so they're like, I hate God. I'm whatever. But they're still assuming subconsciously that God is still going to do good for them. So they still do want the benefit of God. Like when we have stable civilization, when we have infrastructure like roads and electricity and running water, that is not satanic. That's the grace of God. So when there's an absence of God, a complete 100% absence of God, do you think you're going to have running water, electricity, much less internet, food, much less food you like, fancy clothes, nice clothes, much less any clothes? Like Satanism is not, people think, oh, like I'll sell my soul and I'll have all sorts of money and I'll have sorts of jewelry and people will love me and they'll respect me. And of course, it's a cliche. When people, even just non-Satanists, win $1 million, it's their life is so much worse after that money, after they've received that money. So, but back to the main premise of this video. What eats bugs as a happily? So it's birds, it's amphibians like frogs, it's lizards and snakes. That's what eats bugs. So the globalists are indicating what they think of us. We are bugs to them. We are no, we're not bugs. We are bug eaters. That's what the globalists think, that we, human souls, God's creation, the creation that God made in his likeness. The globalists want us to eat bugs. They want to shove bugs down our face. They want our children to eat bugs. They want our most lovely people to eat bugs. Even prisoners are not made to eat bugs, but the globalists want us to eat bugs. Are we birds? Are we snakes? Are we lizards? Are we frogs? And the thing is like, what is Satan, as an animal? What's it's known to be? It's a snake. So it's this kind of reverse thing. Like that's what the left is doing. That's what the Marxists do. They they tell you what they're doing. That they tell you that you are what they are. So the what the left has been doing is saying you're you're burning buildings down, even though conservatives have not been burning, Christians have not been burning down the Planned Parenthood or the White House. Conservatives have not been doing that. But what has the left been doing? What have the progressive liberals been supporting of the left, the Marxists, city centers across the nation? Nothing's been done. So that's just an example in America in the past couple of years of what of this gaslighting that the left does. They'll be burning down your stuff. They'll be doxing you, but then they're telling you that you're burning down their stuff. They'll tell you that you're doxing them. When what conservatives have brought any leftists down in the past couple of years? I can't think of anything. The conservatives are totally outnumbered, and the media is totally on the left side. So yeah, I just thought it was an interesting realization that the globalists want us to eat bugs because they think we're no better than lizards and chickens, and I mean, so we're not, we're just barely invertebrates to them. And they have to think that way because they're harvesting us for our organs. They're harvesting us for our children to be raped and murdered. And they have to have humans around because we bring creativity, we bring life, we bring entertainment, we bring God, to the Satanists. And as much as the Satanists hate God and stuff, when they are in hell for eternity, be incredible suffering. But we bring, I think even the atheists, there's still a seed of God. There's still a little glimmer of the Holy Spirit, and we bring goodness. I think these evil people, like, do they want to be treated as they deserve to be treated? To be kicked in the teeth and kicked out of stores and restaurants and car dealerships and real estate agents? No, even though they deserve to be because they're killing people, they're raping children, they're eating children, they're harvesting organs, right? So, but they want to be kowtowed to. Because us, ignorant people, we're just doing customer service. Like when they're getting in the coffee or whatever, we're like, oh, here, thank you, ma'am. Here you go, ma'am. They like that. They like to be treated better than they deserve. They like to be treated like a human being, even though they want to treat us like a lizard. They want to treat us like a snake. They're like, okay, I want you to treat me as a divine creation of God, but I want you to eat bugs. You are a snake. You are a lizard. You're a chicken. So I'm going to treat you like a chicken. You get to eat some bugs. Here, have some cockroaches. But you treat me like a child of God, right? That's totally what's going on. Like these demonic Satanists, they have they have uh, they have God envy. They have Jesus envy. They have human soul envy. They want the blessing of being a human soul, but they've sold out. They've sold their souls, and they're committing atrocities. And it's all hidden. The media hides it. The the cameramen hide it. The hairdressers hide it because they all know. But they've signed non-disclosure agreements, and they would be murdered if they say anything. I guess because how is it that the evidence is so prevalent, but very few people are speaking out about it. It's like you have to be a fairly big name in Hollywood to even have anything make it in the news about Pizzagate about child human trafficking in Hollywood and whatnot. So, yeah, do you want to be treated like a lizard or a snake or a frog? Are you a snake, frog, lizard that happens to be a human? Do you want to eat bugs? I mean, nobody's like really, nobody's taking it seriously except for the globalists. But and yes, there are cultures that do eat bugs, but they're not they're not everything isn't the bug. They're using the bug as a protein condiment. But that's not how the globalists want. I mean, if you look at the products that are in these cricket bars and stuff, it's not a properly processed insect that can work with the human digestion. And especially like Americans are the unhealthiest people. And the media loves to blame Americans. The media loves to bash Americans. The media loves to tell Americans, "Oh, you're such a failure. Oh, you're such a fat person. Oh, you're such a glutton." And I think if the globalists stop putting toxins in our air, if the globalists stop putting toxins in our food, if the medical system was not this horrible Rockefeller poison, radiate, chop up, medicate with poisons system, if we actually had real medicine, if we had fresh air, if we had clean water, if we had a clean food supply that wasn't contaminated with glyphosate, okay, number one, that would probably take 10, 20 pounds off of a lot of people. That would alleviate probably a lot of mental illness because being constantly sick, it does get to you emotionally, and then mental illness can begin, and then addictions occur because people are trying to manage. So maybe they're smoking a lot of cigarettes, or maybe they're drinking a lot of alcohol, and then their judgment is cloudy, and then they start doing drugs. So people need to stop bashing America. I do not think Americans are this disgusting zombie thing that everybody likes to say. And we've lost some wisdom of the past. In the past, people did parasite cleanses, and we need to start doing that. And being that, for instance, the infrastructure of cities have been made unhealthy. So they make the suburbs 10 miles away from the stores, which is 10 miles away from the schools, which is 10 miles away from where somebody works. So nobody can walk anywhere. You have to have a car, and they don't provide good public transportation in a lot of places. So people are having to just drive everywhere. So, we have that, and then, of course, the breakdown of the family and gender roles and family roles, and uh, so there's that psychological, cultural, sociological component, and everybody's supposed to be on Prozac or Xanax or whatever. Nobody's dealing with family difficulties, working it out emotionally. No, you just take your drugs, go do video games, go whatever. People are doing watching porn or something like that, rather than working things out and building a rich relationship in your family, with your marriage or whatever. Nobody nobody's doing that. Very few people. Like in the 80s and 90s, people were really into self growth. It was people understood, and they were trying to heal from whatever. But like now, it is not. It doesn't seem like it's a priority. Everybody's like, they have this beautiful, um, you know, uh, house that they're building the house, or they're making it look like a beautiful, that they're going to sell the house. Like inside the house, it's like camera ready for a production. Women are like, their makeup is just crazy intricate, or guys are doing these complex fitness routines. And uh, in the like from what I observed in the 60s and the 70s, not I wasn't born in the 60s, but I did see media. And in that time, like people would they would wake up, eat breakfast, interact with family, go to work, go to school, do their job, and at 5 o'clock or whenever the work ended, they would come home, chill out, have dinner, watch TV, read a book, and go to sleep. But in 2023 in America, you're supposed to look like a supermodel, have a house that looks like it was designed by Martha Stewart. You have to have your side gig where you're doing whatever you're doing PR for yourself in your many like six different income streams, and everybody's trying to be a millionaire. So they're living this like high life and doing like fancy travel every 6 months, every 3 months, going somewhere fancy, having a second home. Like people are doing this like super high pressure, glamorous life. They're expecting this, and it is not sustainable. I mean, people are doing it, and it makes people so competitive and vicious and justified in that. They're like, well, I have to have the best life possible, and I have to provide the best life for my child. So, to hell with you. That's what I think. And the thing is, like these parents that are so uh, invested in this very consuming career, they can't spend time with their children. And I think that's part of why this trans thing has taken hold, because parents are so consumed with their gigs and their careers and this 24-hour demanding PR life that people are doing, that the only thing that's getting their parents' attention is if they're changing the kids changing their gender. I think it's crying out. Like these children are just crying out, please pay attention to me, because the children cannot compete with the dopamine rush of the mobile phone. So anyway, do you want to eat bugs? Like as a majority, like they want us to eat bugs and eat synthetic meat. How do you feel about that? So thanks for watching.